Hi everyone, it's Amy. Today I am here to set up my mini K-pop binder. I have seen several videos circulating around like K-pop YouTube, and I just thought that it was such a cute and fun idea. So basically, I think that a mini binder is just such a great option for those of us who may not have a large collection, or maybe we collect several different groups and we don't have a ton of just one group to justify having one of those larger 3-ring binders. In the case of my BTS collection, that thing is massive. So I will not be putting any of my BTS or my TXT stuff in here. I do have quite a few cards from Loona's latest album, along with a couple little inclusions that came with it. So I thought it'd be a really cute way for me to, I don't know, store everything. So I thought a mini K-pop binder would be just the perfect solution. Now the reason that I have 2 binders here is because I thought it would be kind of nice to show you your options. These are both A5 6-ring binders, but as you can see, even though they're A5, they are still slightly different, and I thought you might be curious to see how what I'm going to do can fit and work in both types. So first things first, let's talk about just the materials that you are going to need in general, or at least this is what worked for me. So you're just going to need an A5 binder that has 6 rings in it, like so. And then you're also going to need some clear pockets to store your photo cards in. Now this is also going to be dependent upon the size of the photo cards that you have. So basically, like for example, these Loona cards are pretty standard size K-pop photo cards. I feel like they're the most common ones, and of course it's going to entirely depend upon the group and their era, because sometimes, you know, you can have different sizes and things can get a little wonky, but these are pretty much the standard ones, and once you sleeve them, then they will fit in these 9 pockets. If you're curious what sleeves I use the Dragon Shields. They're thick and they're very durable. So in this video, we are going to be using the 9 pocket that we are going to cut up. Like, we're going to actually be cutting all of these, but this is the 9 pocket. And then I also used a 6 pocket, which we end up cutting. And then here is a 3 pocket, but it is a 4x6 3 pocket. So you've got one that lays horizontally as a 4x6, and then 2 vertical ones here, 4x6, 4x6. And then this 2 pocket is an optional one. I feel that if you don't have these 3 pockets that are 4x6, another alternative is to get the 2 pockets, and then you can just cut it and then punch holes in it to get a relatively similar size to the 4x6. After that, you're going to need a hole puncher, and then you're going to need a pair of scissors. And then the next thing is totally optional, but if you want to make any cute like fillers, you can use just like some scrapbook paper. I got this off of Amazon. I actually got everything off of Amazon. And you can use colorful note cards. You can use even just white printer paper. I mean, or you don't have to use any at all. Alright, so one of the first things, like I said, that you're going to do is choose your binder. I decided I wanted to do a cute little holographic clear one, but I think that if your collection starts to grow a little bit, one of these type of binders might be a good option for you because it does fit a little bit more. This is from Kiki K, but I have seen Michaels sell some very similar ones by the Recollections collection. And then you're also just going to want to, you know, assess your collection here. What sizes do you have? And that will determine what pocket sizes that you're going to need. Let's start out with the pockets that I want to make for these size photo cards. So we've got a 9 pocket here, and I'm sorry if it's really hard to see. I did pre-cut a few already. So this is what your finished product is going to look like. Oh my gosh, there's probably cat hair on this. But here is the final one. It's only going to have 4 pockets, so we're reducing it from 9 to 4. So basically, we want to cut off the entire bottom row. I don't know if you can see that. We'll cut off the entire bottom row, and then we're also going to cut off the entire right hand side column. So when you start cutting, you just really want to make sure that you stay below the perforated line so that you don't accidentally cut into the pocket itself. Okay, so let's see. I had it upside down, but okay. We'll go ahead and cut right here. And honestly, it really doesn't have to be perfect as long as you're not cutting through the perforation. Or I shouldn't call it a perforation, it's really more of like a sealed border. Okay, so now we're left with 6 pockets and we are going to cut the farthest right column. Okay, this is really simple. So you're done. Like, this is your 4 pocket that you're going to be using with those photo cards. Now, the thing is, you're obviously going to need to start punching some holes. So go ahead and just grab your binder, pop that open. Oh my gosh, that was really loud. So the best way, I think, to measure it, so you can go ahead and just line up the first hole. And I don't know, should I zoom in a bit? Maybe you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. You're gonna line up the first hole with the first ring. And then what I've seen people do is they just very, very lightly kind of push down on the next ring. You don't have to push it all the way through. It doesn't need to come through, but just sort of enough to make a little indentation. And we're just gonna press down on the next one. And then down here, we already had one pre-made hole that goes through the ring, so just leave that exactly the way it is. Line up the other 2 and kind of press down a little bit. It does not need to be perfect, trust me. Okay, so that's it. So now you've got these like little indentations. Now take out your hole puncher and just start punching away at the little indents that you made. Of course, this is punching through plastic's a little bit tougher than punching through paper. There we go. I got our first one. And if you want to test it out, it fits right here in your binder, and it will also fit in like the other binder that I showed you guys. So go ahead and just repeat the same thing depending upon how many pages that you need. One trick is, if you don't want to always have to like line it up and keep pressing down to make little indentations, use the previous sheet that you had and just line it up with another one that you cut out and just punch through, you know, the holes that you already made. Now here's one that's a little bit different, and these are 6 pockets and they're kind of narrow slits. And the reason I'm using these ones is because Loona has these weird shaped tickets. So they happen to fit perfectly in these slots. And since there's 4, I'm only going to use just 3 rows right here. 1, 2, 3. They're not really rows, they're more like slots. Basically, this is what it is going to end up looking like. So with this one, we do have to trim off the pre-made holes that it came with, but that's okay. We're just gonna make new holes. So just go ahead and turn it lengthwise like this, and then we're just gonna cut it completely down the center so that you have your 3 slots over here and then 3 slots over here. Okay, now that you have this left, there's only 1, 2, 3. Let me get rid of this. So we are going to trim off this side right here that has like the pre-made punched holes in it. This is my first time ever doing like a tutorial for something, so I really hope that it's not confusing. And I understand that it might be really hard to see like this clear pocket, you know. But okay, so basically now you're just left with this. And how it's gonna work is you're just going to, this will be the way that you put in, you know, your card. And we are going to punch holes on that same side where the card goes in. So again, with this, you can push down and make little indents. You just don't want to go too far into the plastic sheet. If you've already made other ones, you could always kind of line them up like this and then punch them that way. All right, so that one is done. And if you want to test it out, always make sure that your things fit and that they look okay. But yeah, it fits, and then we'll just put it in like this. Now this is the last thing that I'm going to be cutting here, and that is the 3-pocket 4x6s that I had mentioned earlier. We're gonna turn it from this into this. So what I do is I just turn it to be horizontal. I want the 2 pockets right here. I don't care as much about the single 4x6 pocket that's over here, so I'm just gonna cut that off. However, I don't know if you can see, but there's this like row right here of just empty space. I want that. I want to keep that because that's where I'm going to punch the holes into. So I'm going to cut just directly below that sealed line of this pocket right here. And then I'm also just going to cut off the pre-made holes that they already made. I don't need that. So that can come right off. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to punch your 3 holes here and then 3 holes here right down that like empty space that we had left behind for us to use, and you end up getting it to look like this. And if you want it to line up with the other ones that you had already cut up, then you can just go ahead and, you know, put the one that you already made, line up the holes. Okay, so all my little sleeves are done, and I'm going to start putting the cards in and then transferring them into the binder. Also, like I said, if you wanted to cut up fillers, now would be the time to do it. I knew that since each version of Loona's albums came with 3 photo cards, but there's 4 pockets in each page, I'm just going to go by album. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 cards there, and then 1 filler card right here. Okay, so here's from version A of Midnight, and I already pre-sleeved these. So let's just go ahead and start putting them in. And I'm not really putting them in any order whatsoever. Then we'll use, I think it was this pink color that I liked for this page. And there's our first page. So let's put that in now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Olivia. Yes, okay. Oh my gosh, a cat hair, please. Why are you? How did you get in there? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, my cat is actually in here and she's snoring and I can hear her. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Then we'll just stick that in there. Okay, and then we've got these these last three. And then here was that 6 pocket that we cut into 3. And I have 4 of these tickets, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up one of them. So I need to go in on this side, the side that we punched holes in, like that. And the reason I'm going in this order is because these cards are all printed vertically, but then this one's printed horizontally. They just had to be different. So I'm just gonna put it right here in the middle on the other side. Right into the back. So now it looks like this. And then I have these sticker sheets. They're 4x6, which is why they fit perfectly in the sleeves that I already have. And this is version A, yeah. So yeah, they just fit perfectly here. I couldn't have asked for better luck with this one. I have also seen some people take full-size 8x10 sheets and cut it down and then put holes in it. That is another option too. Or like I showed earlier, you could always take a 2 pocket and then cut that down. I didn't want to double up on this sheet, which is why I made another one. Okay, and just because this is a little flimsy, I have this old divider that came in that Kpop binder, which we'll show here in a minute. But I'm gonna put this in the back just to give it a little bit more sturdiness. And there we have it. How cute is this? I love it. It's so cute. So here's just a really quick flip through. And I just love how it turned out. It feels sturdy. It really does. It doesn't feel like anything's going to slide out. But I also want to show what it's going to look like if we put it in here. Let's go ahead and transfer just so you can kind of get an idea in case you can't decide what kind of binder you want to use. But the measurements and everything of the rings, they line up perfectly. So I'm really happy about that. Like, you know, if I ever outgrow this holographic binder, I can always move things over to this one. Or if I even decide to collect, you know, another group, I could always use this. And this is how this one looks like. I really like both, honestly. I just think that, you know, it's really just up to your own personal preference. But that is it for our little mini PC binder. I'm really happy with the way that things turned out. I think I'm going to, for now, I think I'm going to transfer everything though back into this one. But I hope that this was helpful for you, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!